Welcome to Damia, Sage of Stone. Hope you're excited for some Soul-type Planeswalkers. Now, as far as opening hand goes, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at that. Vampiric Tutor, Mana Crypt in the hand, Gilded... Oh, yes, this is wonderful. We'll definitely keep on this one. And, I don't know. Every time I see Mana Crypt, I'm just so happy that they unbanned it. And I don't know when they're going to ban it. They might ban it sometime soon. Who knows? But until they do, we're going to play with it, and it makes me really happy. So, let's go to get down Polluted Delta. And we're going to go for... I guess we're just going to hold off on Mana Crypt, because either way, we're going to be going for Vampiric Tutor if we need to go for something. So we'll just go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Damia, Sage of Stone. Delta, skip your draw step at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Opponent's going to go for Mind Stone. Let's go and crack Polluted Delta. Let's go and get this popped out. Let's go and grab Underground Sea. I think that sounds good. Yeah, because that turns on the our Twilight Mire and our Flooded Grove either way. So we'll go and grab Underground Sea. And let's go ahead and go for Vampiric Tutor. Get down Phyrexian Arena. I think that sounds good. Let's go and get this popped out. Where are you, Phyrexian Arena? There we go. Now we can have some consistent card draw. Should be a fun matchup playing against Blue-White Control, which I'll cover the commander in just a second. But the opponent's going to get down Mind Stone. And then they do have that Elixir of Immortality. So let's go and get down Twilight Mire. Let's go and go for Mana Crypt. There we go. Cast that bad boy. Get down Mana Crypt. Let's go and tap down Underground Sea to add that double black, and we'll get down Phyrexian Arena. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Get down Phyrexian Arena. We'll have one colorless left over, and then I'll give us some pretty good card draw. Then anything else? No. We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Ephara, God of Polis. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, or excuse me, at the beginning of each upkeep, if you had a creature enter the battlefield under your control last turn, draw a card. And whenever I play against Ephara, she always reminds me of Eli, because he played Ephara in one of our lounges, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we did USA versus Canada. Pretty sure that's what it was. I just remember him having the Polar City-State joke, and I always enjoyed that. But, all right, so we're going to get the Mana Crypt trigger, get the Phyrexian Arena going, and then I'll kind of break down what we have going on with Damia here in just a second. All right, draw into Mystical Tutors. See the Mana Crypt. Just going to choose Tails on this one. One the flip, 1 for 1 on our Mana Crypt triggers. And then we draw into Eternal Witness. Let's go and get down Flooded Grove. Yeah, this is going to be 1, 2. Yeah, we'll go and tap down for Gilded Lotus. I'm fine with that. And then anything else that puts us online for Eternal Witness and Mystical Tutor or Doomblade. So yeah, we'll just go and pass the turn with this Gilded Lotus open, and then we'll be good to go. But yes, we did cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Damia. Now this is Sultai, kind of Planeswalker, Sultai good stuff. Sultai, the game's going to go long, but you may not have a solid win condition, whatever you want to call it. Do we want to have Mystical Tutor for anything at this point? Instant or sorcery? We could, but we got the land drop for next turn. Let's just go and pass the turn. I think I'm okay with that. All right, so we have the Mana Crypt trigger, Phyrexian Arena, drawn to Deathrite Shaman. Just go and choose Tails on this one. 1 for 2 on our Mana Crypt triggers, and then drawn to Josu Vess. Let's go and get down Island. So we're looking at Josu. That's going to be 10 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're kind of almost there. Let's go and tap down for Damia. Or do we want to try to go for some sort of counterspell protection for Damia? I think that would probably be better if we did that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Deathrite Shaman. This is one of those decks to where, like, actually, we don't have just a regular green source on this one, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and go Flooded Grove. We'll add blue-green to our mana pool. Let's go Deathrite Shaman. And then we're going to go for Mystical Tutor while our opponent is tapped down. Let's just go and simply just grab some sort of counterspell. We'll just go and grab counterspell straight up. All right, that's going to go on top. And then anything else, we could go for Eternal Witness if we need to, but let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we do have Counterspell on top of our library. That's going to put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That will be 9 total mana and give us enough protection to get down Damia. So that'll put us in a pretty good spot. 10 mana if we count the Polluted Delta coming out of the graveyard with Deathrite Shaman. And unfortunately, it looks like our opponent is... they've got all the... they don't have any blue sources over there. So hopefully they get a blue source going pretty quick. And we'll get Ephara kind of pop down just a little bit so we can get a little bit better picture of what they've got going on their side of the battlefield. Okay, opponent's going to go for Field of Ruin on Underground Sea. Yeah, that's fine. I guess, do we want Counterspell that bad to miss out on a land drop? We've got Gilded Lotus, we've got Mana Crypt, we've got Eternal Witness to bring it back. No, excuse me. That's not a May ability. Destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. Each player such. Yeah, they have to do that. So let's go and add that mana to our mana pool in response to that. But I think we have to search it. That's not a May ability. Okay, yeah, that is not a May ability. So we have to find a basis. That's going to mess up our counterspell play. We do have 2 blue swords. Let's go and grab a black source off of that. All right, so that does mess up our mystical tutor, but like I mentioned, it's not too bad. An opponent will tap down for Ephara too, so let's go and get that command zone crossed off, and let's see what we draw into. Okay, so we get the Mana Crypt trigger, got the Phyrexian Arena trigger, Cryptic Command, okay. And then we're going to use Tails on this one. 1 to flip, 2 for 3 on our Mana Crypt triggers. When we draw into Scalding Tarn. Let's go to get down Scalding Tarn. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That'll put us on just enough for Cryptic Command, so I like that. Let's go and tap down for Damia. I'm going to grab Tropical Island. And let's go and go for Damia. Okay, we get down Damia and we drew into Cryptic Command, which is just absolutely perfect because it's going to allow us to at least counter something and draw an additional card. And at the same time, if our opponent has something like a Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare to send Damia back, we can simply just tap out for Cryptic Command and be in a really good spot to go for that. Now, we are looking at a pretty good chunk of mana, so if we want to get some sort of clock going on our opponent, we can go for Josu Vest and go for that kicker ability and get those zombies going on the battlefield, which would definitely be really good for us to kind of get that going. All right, opponent's going to pass the turn. And then we're going to have the, I guess the way we want to sequence this, we go for the Phyrexian Arena trigger first, and then we put the Mana Crypt trigger. Actually, we'll put Mana Crypt on top, then Damia. Okay, this is going to allow us to draw 3 cards. Draw into Soul Ring, Sire of Stagnation. Okay, let's go and choose Tails on this one. 1 to flip, 3 for 4 on our Mana Crypt triggers. And then draw into Oracle. All right, let's go and get down Bloodstained Mire. Let's go ahead and crack Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and grab Bayou. Let's go and push in with Damia. It's going to be 4/4 coming across. Opponent's going to go for Valorous Stance. Destroy target creature with power or toughness 4, with toughness 4 or greater. Yeah, let's go and go for Cryptic on that. If they have some counter spell, so be it, but it's not the end of the world. So let's go and go for Cryptic Command. And since we have a ton of card draw, let's go and do this. That way they don't have a tutor or Tamia's Journal. Let's go and counter target spell and then return target permanent to its owner's hand. That Tamia's Journal. Alright, so we're going to go for counter spell and bounce Tamio back to the hand because they are sitting at 2 clue tokens. Okay, get rid of that. Damia's going to swing across for 4, put him down to 26. And that will be 4 total commander damage. Let's go and get down Soul Ring off of Mana Crypt. I'm going to get down Sire of Stagnation. Yeah, we'll go and get down Sire of Stagnation. It's going to be 1, 2. Okay, get down Sire and then anything else. We could tap down for Eternal Witness, but let's just, well, is that exactly what we want to go for? Bringing Cryptic back to the hand. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Let's go and exile Polluted Delta out of the graveyard, and we'll go and bring Cryptic Command, because I want to have some sort of at least counter spell. I was going to bring Cryptic Command back to the hand, and then anything else we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So we've got a pretty good board state developed. Yes, we're going to use that ability. We have Sire of Stagnation on the battlefield. That way if our opponent does play a land, we're going to exile the top 2 cards of their library. Then we get to draw a card. And then what did our opponent just go for? They went for, oh, they cracked a couple clue tokens to draw a few more cards. So I'll kind of keep them off that. If they wanted to tutor up a card, it'll definitely keep them off any sort of tutor action. So we will have Cryptic Command, but next turn we can also go for Josu Vest and finally kind of get that zombie army down and really start putting some pressure on our opponent. Opponent's going to bounce Sire of Stagnation back to the hand. Okay, that's not too bad. Because if we do tap down for Josu Vest, that will be 10 total mana. That will leave 3 mana left over and leave Deathrite Shaman as the 4th option to at least kind of go for that Cryptic Command protection. So, alright, so we have the Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go for Phyrexian Arena, and they'll put Damia on the stack. Drawn to Counterspell and Harbor. Drawn to Gurk Wildspeaker. And let's go and choose Tails on this one. Lost the flip. I think we're 3 for 6 on those. Man, I lost count during that last one. Let's go and get down Harbor. Let's still go and push in with Damia. Yeah, because nothing has haste, so we'll go and push in with Damia. That would get the Reflector Mage block, hopefully. If not, then we'll get him for additional 4. You know what? Let's go and go for Josuves. I like getting down an army on this one, so let's go and cast it with the kicker. Okay, we're going to go for Josuves kicked. If we wanted to, we could go for Gurk Wildspeaker to plus up, untap 2 target lands. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's going to cut us off going for the leaving up Cryptic Command. But that does leave us on Counterspell, and it gives us that +3/+3 for next turn. Yeah, I think that would be a good line of play to go for. Let's go and do that. Untap up to 2 target lands. We'll go and untap Harbor and Island. And that'll give us still a counterspell protection to get something like Cyclonic Rift, and then we go for that -4 off Gurk to go for that +3/+3 next turn, and give all of our creatures trample. Okay, opponent's going to go for Elixir of Mortality. Put him back up to 31. And let's see what they get going for the turn. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be able to close this one out. Okay, opponent's going to tap down for Gilded Lotus. And opponent's going to go for Bident of Thassa. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card. And then for a 2-mana activation, creatures your opponent's control attack this turn if able. And that does put them at only 2 mana left up at this point right now. So hopefully, pretty sure we should be able to get this one. Let's go and go Mana Crypt trigger. Let's go Phyrexian Arena, then the Damia trigger on the stack. Draw to Disallow. Draw to Pulse. And we'll go and choose Tails on this one. Lost the flip. 3 for 7, I think. Alright, let's go and go for Gurk Wildspeaker. Go for that -4 ability. And let's go and look at all those. Oh, the Zombie Knights. I love it. Let's go and push across on this one. There we go. Put our opponent down to -32. Definitely a good game to our opponent. Unfortunately, they did have to mulligan down to 5 earlier in the game. And we got off to a pretty quick start with Gilded Lotus and Sol Ring and Mana Crypt. But you can definitely see where Damia can be really potent. Just getting a ton of mana going, get her down on the battlefield, dumping your entire hand and refueling your hand every single turn. I mean, pretty much always have an answer for something. Even if our opponent was going to leave up something like Cyclonic Rift or Aetherize, we still have Counterspell in the hand, Disallow, Cryptic Command, and we just have a ton of options to allow this board state to go. But this is definitely a really fun build, especially when you get down a lot of these army and a can creatures, get down Josuves or something like the Deranged Hermit, and you just go beat sticks with a bunch of tokens and have a lot of fun. But anyways, if you enjoyed the Sultai show today, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Damia, Sage of Stone. As far as our opening hand goes, we have no lands in our opening hand, so that does not sound that good. Let's go ahead and mulligan on that one. And then we have all the lands plus 3 visits. Do we want to keep on this one? Yeah, I don't really want to go past 6. Hopefully we get lucky with the scry. Maybe there's a really good card draw on top. Gilded Lotus. Let's go and put that on the bottom for right now. See if we can't get something that has a little bit more action. Then opponent's going to lead off with the Leyline of the Void. Okay, it's going to get exiled. So luckily we don't have anything like Life from the Loam in our hand. Let's go to get down to Command Tower, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Damia, Sage of Stone. Death Touch, skip your draw step. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Playing against Nath of the Gilt Leaf. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. Then whenever an opponent discards a card, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Let's go and tap down on green. Let's go and get down Deathrite Shaman. The good thing about Deathrite Shaman is that even though our graveyard is turned off because of Leyline of the Void, it'll still allow us to kind of go for our opponent's graveyard. Let's go ahead and go for... Doesn't really matter. I guess we'll just go and get down Bayou, and then we'll pass the turn back over to our opponent. Now, as far as anything else, cover both commanders, free time, we can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Damia. Now, what are we doing with this deck? If you haven't seen this video before, this is pretty much kind of like Sultai Planeswalker, Sultai good stuff. Really fun deck to pilot. I was going to go for 3 visits, and there's not really a clear win condition. That's kind of one of the main problems with Sultai sometimes, is that you end up with these board states that are really nice. Let's go and grab I think Breeding Pool. Yeah, it's going to have Breeding Pool. Come into play tap. Not going to pay 2 life. And then we will go ahead and just Could swing it for one, but let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, that's one of the downsides to Sultai is that there's not really a super solid win condition. So one of our main win conditions is definitely going to be Villainous Wealth. It's always a lot of fun if we can get some really good mana going. And then outside of that, just getting some good Planeswalkers going, some activations. So go to get down Overgrown Tomb, have that come into play tap. Not going to pay 2 live. And then see what drawn 2 Spell Swindle. I like that. Let's go and get down Sunken Ruins, and then we'll go ahead and kick it back over to our opponent. So we're going to leave up Deathrite Shaman at this point right now. I'd like to go for an activation, or worst case scenario, we can go for the, if they get a land in the graveyard somehow, we can use that for a little bit extra mana off of our Spell Swindle. Alright, opponent's going to crack their Bloodstained Mire. And see what they're tapping down for. Now, we do have Spell Swindle in the hand, which we can use. Wood Elves. That's going to keep... Now, we're going to let them get that land down. What we can do is, hopefully, once they go for Nath, we'll end up using Spell Swindle on Nath. Okay, opponent's going to get down that Overgrown Tomb and then kick it back over to us. Let's see what we draw into. Draw into Swamp. Let's go and get down Bloodstained Mire, then let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. So at this point right now, like I mentioned, we're hoping that they get their 5th land drop. They'll tap down for Nath. That'll really allow us to get down Damia, especially once we get down those 5 treasure tokens. That'll put us in a pretty good spot. And we're not really worried about a 30-turn clock from our opponent with their Wood Elves coming across on that side of the battlefield. But this is pretty much what you want to do with Damia. You know, dump your hand out, get to the point where you can get down 7 mana, and then once you get down Damia, refuel your hand and kind of start going from there. Just basically constantly just getting a threat down. One of the fun things about Damia is, you know, getting that card draw going is always fun, but there are some games to where if Damia does get sent back to the command zone a bunch of times, it makes it really hard to get some stuff moving. Typically, you want to have some sort of protection for Damia. Definitely want to have stuff like Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots. That makes a huge difference. But sometimes you can just kind of roll her out there and keep your fingers crossed your opponent doesn't have any spot removal. Okay, opponent's going to go for Toxic Deluge for 2. If we go for Spell Swindle, that's going to be 3 treasure tokens and Protect Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go ahead and exile. Let's do this. Let's just simply just tap down on our lands for Spell Swindle. Alright, so we get those treasure tokens. We'll go and crack Bloodstained Mire. And that's going to put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll put us online for getting down Damia for sure. Let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and grab Watery Grave, have it come to play tapped. And they're drawn to Jace the Mind Sculptor. Let's go and get down Twilight Mire. Yeah, I like this. Let's go and go Deathrite Shaman, exiling Bloodstained Mire. I'm going to add blue to our deck, and let's go and get down Damia. Okay, get down Damia, and then do we want to go ahead and go for Jace the Mind Sculptor getting that down too? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Let's go and go for Jace. Okay, get down Jace. Let's go and go for the +2 ability. Actually, if we want to, we can start Fate Sealing on our opponent. That might actually work out pretty well. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's go and Fate Seal on our opponent. Liliana's Caress. Yeah, let's go and leave that on top. Because that way it kind of puts them in a spot to where either they want to get down Nath or go for Liliana's Caress. And I need to grab a note card so I can start keeping up with that. But Liliana's Caress. Now, one of the fun things with Jace is we can start to kind of hopefully control our opponent's card draw. But we use that -12 ability, exile all cards from target player's library, then they shuffle their hand into their library. So if they kind of get their hand down low, maybe we can get to that ultimate. That'll definitely be a win condition for the deck. But that's one of the fun things about this deck is that you just have some goofy win conditions. Like with Ashiok, you can definitely use the +up on Ashiok, keep getting a bunch of creatures going, and then use the ultimate to kind of exile a bunch of stuff. Opponent's going to go for Mist. Each player's upkeep, that player discards a card, and then they do get down Liliana's Caress, which is going to be that extra 2 life. So we'll go and cross that one off. And it looks like we've got ourselves a little game, and Damia did stick around on the battlefield, so we don't have to worry about any spot removal, at least at this point right now. But hopefully with us only having, and this actually works out really well with us having to discard cards, is that we're going to get a fresh grip from Damia off of this too. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that was. All right, so drawn to Vault, Pulse, and then let's go ahead and get down Woodland Cemetery. Actually, we're going to get down Drowned Catacomb. Let's go and Fate Seal on our opponent. Swamp, we're going to definitely leave that one on top. And that's going to put us online for Mystical Tutor. You know what, let's go and go for Pulse on Liliana's Caress, just in case our opponent dumps our hand or something like that. That would really really hurt us with Liliana's Caress. That's going to be a pretty powerful card in this matchup. Let's go and go for Pulse on Liliana's Caress. And then let's go and push in Damia on our opponent. Now what we can do is we can go for Lifelong Loam simply just to get it out of the hand. So we'll see exactly what we're going to go for. And then what else? We'll jump in front of Damia, and then anything else. Yeah, because that's going to put us online for Vault. That'll put us online for Mystical Tutor. Actually, we can just simply just cast Life from the Loam because it's going to be dead in this matchup. So let's just go and get it out of our hand. Okay, that's going to get exiled, then anything else, no. We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So that does keep us online for Vault. We'll see exactly what we're going to go for with Mystical Tutor. More than likely with Mystical Tutor, we'll probably grab some sort of counter spell. Because at this point right now, we didn't see our opponent go for any sort of spot removal. So what we're going to try to do is hopefully get some sort of protection for Damia. If something does happen to Damia, it's not the end of the world. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looking at 8 mana, we can always Vault for something like Mana Crypt or Soul Ring to kind of help us get back on mana. And plus, you know, there's not really a huge threat on the battlefield from our opponent with Jace on the battlefield, so we're just going to be able to keep ticking up Jace, at least at this point right now in the game. Okay, opponent's going to go for Eternal Witness. Let's see what they're going to grab off of that. And they will target Toxic Deluge. So it's going to go for a Deathrite Shaman activation, exiling Toxic Deluge. Okay, we get rid of that, so basically it's going to be Eternal Witness on the battlefield, so that's definitely nice to dodge that one. And instead of going for Vault, let's simply just, well, actually see what our opponent's tapping down for. Animate Dead on Herald. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card, then for 2 activations, sack an artifact, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Alright, so there's no artifacts right now. Yeah, we can survive that. That's not too bad. And we can always bounce it back to the hand too with Jace if we need to. So yeah. And let's go and go for Mystical Tutor. We'll go and get rid of Scalding Tarn, and we'll go and go for Mystical Tutor. Get this popped out just a little bit bigger. And we'll go and grab Counterspell, because we... Alright, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one, so we had Mystical Tutor online. Unfortunately with Damia, some of these videos, you get to the point to where you've kind of got the game on lockdown, or... you know, Damia gets sent back to the command zone 100 times. So I'm still going to go and post this video up, because this is exactly what you want to do. You can see where we just didn't really... Our opening hand wasn't that good, but thankfully playing against a discard deck that made us discard our entire hand, or at least get down to 0, and you draw a fresh grip with Damia, with her answered on the battlefield. It's usually more than enough to allow you to win the game, but long story short, with that Mystical Tutor, we're probably going to go for Counterspell. And then that would have given some protection for Damia. And then we just basically would have been kind of grinding the game out with Jace, going for that +2 ability. Even with our opponent getting down Herald on the battlefield, we have a ton of options in here that we could have gone for. I'm trying to draw a few more cards, but it doesn't look like it's going to let me draw a few more cards. But we've got some good removal in here too if we were worried about Herald coming down. And we even still have the -1 ability off Jace to bounce Herald back to the hand. So definitely a good game to our opponent. Definitely enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.